Cheer someone up with the brightly colored Moss Stitch Cool Can Cozy. It's quick and easy to crochet, economical to make, and handy to use. Absolutely the perfect little gift for teachers, neighbors, the postman, and more. In this video, you will learn how to crochet the spiral base, transition to the Moss Stitch spiral, and how to crochet an easy border designed specifically for use with the Moss Stitch. I looked to variegated cotton 4-ply yarn to add spice to this one-piece project, but solids work too. You need less than an ounce for each cozy, so raid your stash for those odds and ends. The companion pattern is available by following the link in the description below.
So the first thing we're going to do is form a slip knot. And I'm going to leave about a 4-inch yarn tail because I'm going to weave it in as we go. So there's my slip knot, chain 4. And slip stitch into the very first chain to form a ring. Now you're going to bring this to the back and this forward underneath and around the feeder yarn and lay it down on the little ring that we just formed. Then we're going to work a chain 1 and 7 single crochets right into the ring. Now notice I was working around this end, and the reason I was so that I could pull it nice and tight and close that ring up even tighter. Now I'm back to my chain 1, and we're going to transition into a spiral. Our first row really is going to have 8 single crochets on it. The 8th single crochet is going to go under that chain 1 at the beginning. And what that does is it creates the spiral without a transition or a bump in it. So that's the end of this row. Now, just to keep track of things easily, place a marker just below the last stitch of the row so you know when you're hitting the last stitch. I'm just going to leave that marker right there. Now, I'm going to continue to work around this end because I'm going to weave it in a little bit further. In the very next stitch, I'm going to work 2 single crochets. And really, I'm going to work 2 single crochets in each one of the single crochets around. So when I'm all done, I will have 16 single crochets after round 2. Now notice I'm not chaining or anything in between. We're not slip stitching in between. We're just working in a spiral from this point on. Now I'm going to let that drop off to the back and just continue to do mine too until I get to the last stitch. Now this is one pattern that is very, very forgiving. Now here's my last stitch. Right, no, I don't think that's it. It's right here. So I'm going to put 2 single crochets in the last stitch. And that ends the round, and I have 16 single crochets around it. So now I'm going to go on to round 3. I'm going to work 2 single crochets in the very first stitch and 1 single crochet in the next. And that's because I'm building and growing this into a circle or a spiral. So I have my 1 in there. Now I'm going back to 2 single crochets in the next stitch and 1 in the next. And I'm going to go all the way around. This grows my spiral by 8 stitches per round, and that keeps it flat. Since we're at the very end, you know that you're going to end after the 1 because you started with 2, and you should have 24 single crochets on this round. Let's count them. 24. Perfect. So this pattern is 2 in the first one, 1 single crochet in each of the next 2. 2 single crochets in the next one, 1 single crochet in each of the next 2. And we're going to do this all the way around. Now we're getting to the end. So this is the 2 in the next one, and 1 in each of the next 2. There you go. We've just finished round 4. If you were going to make a skinny pop can, you would just simply slip stitch into the next stitch, because we have 32 stitches around in this little spiral. However, we're not going to make one for a skinny. We're going to make one for a regular sized pop can, which is like the same size as a beer can. So what you can do at this point is work 2 in the next one. We need to do 2 more increases just to get it just a little bit bigger. So that's our first one, and then 2 in the next. So just continue row 4 just a little bit further than you would normally go. It's really easy to do. Now here's the second one, and then 2 in the next. That should give us 34 stitches around. And it would be good to just count them, because you're just going to go until you get to 34. 1, 2, 3, 31, 32, 33, 34. Amazing. So now we can slip stitch into the next stitch. So on the next row, we're going to transition from this solid single crochet spiral to a moss stitch spiral. We're going to reinforce that first row so it has a nice firm edge, and we're creating a special edge that will help it stand up when you're using it. So let's talk about the structure of the single crochet. You have a front loop, you have a back loop, and you have a third loop on the back. That's that cross horizontal loop that goes across the top of it. That's important.
If we work in only the back loop, the front loop will create a perfect ridged edge, which will stabilize the cozy when in use. But since we are also transitioning to the moss stitch and only half the stitches will be crocheted, we need to find a way to strengthen this round too.
So what we're going to do is we're going to put our hook under the back loop only and the third loop on the back. Now it's a little touchy, but you only have to do a few stitches. So we now have some stability, and we're going to pull up a loop and work our first single crochet and chain 1. Then we're going to skip the next stitch. In the next stitch, we're going to go in the back loop only and under the third loop on the back, just like that. Pull up a loop and complete a single crochet, chain 1. Skip 1. You always skip one so that you're creating this space that's so typical of the moss stitch. So I'm under both the back loop and the third loop on the back. Pull up a loop, complete the single crochet, chain 1. And we're going to do this all the way around. Now we've just completed the last one here, and we've chained our 1. Once we've established this first row, we're going to start working the side edges. Jump over to the first space and work our single crochet, chain 1. That's the typical moss stitch. Then jump to the next space, single crochet, chain 1. Jump to the next space, single crochet, chain 1. So now we're doing a spiral in moss stitch. And so as you work this, that it just keeps building and building and building. Right at the end of round 6, all you do is just keep going. That's it. We just started round 7. So we're going to continue until we have a total of 14 rounds. That brings us up to here. Then we're going to put a special edge on. If you were doing this skinny one, you would do 16 to 17 rounds. It just depends on how tall you want it to be on the can. We've just finished our 14th round, and to begin the edging, we're going to just slip stitch in the next space. That just evens off the edge. Then we're going to chain 1 and work a single crochet in the very same space. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to insert our hook to the right of the single crochet we just worked and pull up a loop and complete a single crochet. So we just single crocheted around that single crochet. That provides the distance necessary to get to the next space where we put a single crochet. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Once again, insert the hook to the right of the single crochet, and working around that last single crochet, work another single crochet. I'll meet you when I get all the way around. This is a perfect edging for any time you're using the moss stitch. And what it does is it places a little picot right above each of the moss stitches. So it makes a wonderful edging. Then in the very last space, you see, this is the first one here, here's the last space. A single crochet in that space, a chain 3 that forms the picot, and a single crochet around the last one. Then all we have to do is slip stitch into the first stitch and cut our yarn. Pull that end through and weave that end in. So I'm just going to put it there for a minute. We can remove our marker, and here is our perfect cozy.
I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Please take a moment to subscribe and ring the bell to receive notifications of upcoming videos and events. Happy crocheting!